Camera number 230 of 365 is this Optima 500SN. Done a series of Optimas, 1 and 1A I believe. But this is the 500SN. Again, it's a manual camera, but with a slight difference in that it's got an automatic mode and a very limited manual mode. So let's just look at the front. It has a Agfa color Solinar 2.8 45mm lens. I presume the para-attic refers to the shutter. It's a leaf shutter. And then looking at the lens barrel, we have our distance scale. So there is no distance. I beg your pardon, there is. There is a scale here that we can actually use. So we can use this approximation scale, if you like, two people portrait, a family portrait, or a landscape, or we can choose to look at the base here. I didn't notice that when I was using it, but it does seem to, it clicks at, got freedom between 1 meter and 2, but then you've got the clicks 2 meter, 5 meter and infinity, so there's limited focusing there. Notice a guide number for shutter speeds, I presume, that's shutter speeds. And then looking at the automatic mode, we set it to A. I don't know whether you can see that, there's A, automatic mode. And then we can either turn it to flash sync mode, which then gives us a shutter speed of about a 90th or a 100th of a second. And we can change our aperture with that same dial. So we can move it, say, f8, and it's a 1/90th or 100th of a second, or we can do f4 or f2.8. Alternatively, we can go the other way, and then we've got B. So assuming we've got it on a tripod, we could use a cable release, and then we could do the same thing. Again, we can choose our aperture with that same dial. Otherwise, if we put it on A, we have our meter here, and looking through the viewfinder, there's an indication, green light if you like, or red light, that tells us whether the camera can choose an aperture stroke shutter speed combination. If it can't, then it will show a little red indicator, and well, you use the camera at your peril. You could of course use a flash, it's a hot shoe there, so you still can use the camera. Self-timer, and then on the base you'll notice there's a number of things here. Our film advance is on the base, and our shutter advance, or actuation. And then we have our film rewind button, which pops our rewind crank out, which we can then, presumably that then separates the film advance and then allows us to put our film into our camera. Once we've rewound our film into our camera, we press the two up and down buttons, and then that opens the film chamber and allows us to take our film out and then put our new film in, which we can do, and then push that in and then click it back into place. Our film speed is set with this dial on the left, and I think that is it. So that is the Optima 500SN. Very pleasant experience, I must say, the Optimas. I do like them. Seem to get the balance between functions and lightness of camera. So that has been camera number 230 of 365.